Hi everyone. So today I'm going to go over some newborn essentials. And when I'm talking about newborn, I'm talking about like the first 2, maybe 3 weeks of life, not even a month old yet. What are the basic things that you're going to need to get by? Luckily, newborns, they don't need a lot of items. And that's something I found out as a new mom. I had everything ready. I had the nursery ready. I had everything. I had a high chair. I had all of these different things that you're definitely not going to need yet. So today I just wanted to focus on some of the items that were most helpful to me those first few weeks of life that I feel like really got me by. The first thing that your baby's going to be doing a lot of those first few weeks of life is sleeping. So I wanted to go over first the items that I felt helped Rory sleep better. And the first item is this nested bean sleep sack. This is what he still sleeps in right now. Now, why I like this one is because he didn't really enjoy being swaddled that much. And this serves kind of as a blanket and serves the purpose of a swaddle without having to swaddle him. He has a little bit more freedom to move around. The other thing that's great about this nested bean stack is it has this little weight and it does help them sleep better. They feel that little bit of pressure. It's not too much. It's fine for a newborn. It has that little bit of pressure right on their chest and it helps soothe them and helps them to have better sleep. The next item that I liked for sleeping, naps, it was kind of a multi-use item, is these cotton swaddles. These are really light. We live in Florida, so we are not using heavy blankets, and it's also, we had Rory in February, and we didn't really have the need for any heavy blankets to keep him warm. Now, depending on where you are, that might change a little bit, but these were good to grab and go wherever we were in the house, to move him around, and we also swaddled him in these as well. These are really easy to do a swaddle. When you go to a birthing class or even at the hospital, they will show you how to properly swaddle the baby, and these are great for that without being too heavy. You don't want a heavy swaddle at all, and these are great for that. These I bought on Amazon, as well as the nested bean swaddle. You can buy both of those items on Amazon. The next item that I thought was really helpful in terms of sleep was having the correct pacifier. This is going to be probably trial and error for you because every baby is different, and what your baby likes is going to be different than what Rory liked. Rory really liked these bibs, natural rubber pacifiers. We found this brand, I think when he was 2 weeks old, and I did a lot of research on pacifiers, and this one is supposed to be easier for them to hold into their mouths because they're not really strong enough to suck some of those heavier pacifiers that are on the market, and this seems to be really good for newborns. Rory is still using these and he loves this one. We haven't changed since we found this one. They'll give you pacifiers at the hospital, but these ones I feel worked much better for my baby. Now, with every item that I'm talking about today, I want you to keep in mind every single baby is different. So what works for your baby might not work for my baby. What works for my baby might not work for your baby, and that's okay. It is going to be a trial and error process, and that's something to keep in mind as a new mom. Those were the most helpful items in terms of sleep. The next thing I want to talk about is feeding. Now, I'm still exclusively breastfeeding. Rory is 3 months right now, almost 4. So I don't know a lot about formulas or things like that. However, I do pump sometimes. And when I do pump, I found that this Komotomo bottle works the best for him. One thing that I heard in my birthing class is you want to find a bottle that is most realistic to your natural nipple. And this is the one that is close enough to mine. The next items I'm going to be talking about are the essential clothing items you'll need for your baby those first few weeks of life. I found these clothing items the easiest to change Rory in and the most comfortable for him. The first thing that I found was actually given to us by the hospital, and then I went and found where I could order more. And they're these little cardigans. They do have the mittens on them that you can kind of slip over their hands so they don't scratch themselves. And When Rory was first born, the nurses put him in this little shirt and a diaper and then swaddled him. And that's kind of how he was at the hospital the whole entire time. They also allowed us to take these home, and he did great in them when we had him in these cardigans at home as well. It was easy to change him in because there are no bottoms to slip his legs in, and it's just the diaper, and then he's swaddled up and still warm and cozy. So I think these are a great item. They do, Carter's makes some. This again is the hospital brand, but I know Carter's makes them as well, and they can be found on Amazon. They are a great outfit for you to have. Well, not really outfit, but they're a great item for you to have for your baby that's going to allow for easy changes as well as that comfort level for him or her. The next thing that I found was a great clothing item were these little dresses. Now, these are for girls or boys. Carter's does make them for girls and boys. And the reason why I love these so much is because, again, they have the little slips that slip over their hands so you don't have to do the additional mitten. I found that the mittens always fell off. So I liked the sleeves that have the mitten built in. So if you do want to slip it over their hands, then you can. So I loved it for the mitten, but I also loved it because it was so easy to change him in. You just lift their little legs out and you can get right to changing right away without having to snap or zip anything. And when it's the middle of the night, 2 a.m., you don't want to be working with snaps or zippers at all. So I found that this was a great purchase. Carter's again makes these, and I think a few other brands. All of the ones that we had were Carter's, and I think it's a great option for keeping your baby cozy and allowing quick changes. Now, the next clothing item is going to be an item that I recommend for babies in general, no matter what the age, and that is going to be zippered onesie footy pajamas. Get the zipper ones. If you leave this video with one piece of advice, is do not buy anything with snaps, especially if you're going to be using it at nighttime, because when it's late at night, the lights may be dim, you may not want to disturb your baby that much. It is easiest to change your baby in something that is zippered if you don't have the cardigan or the dress option. This is an item that will grow and that you can continue to use when they're 6 months old. You're going to want to still have zippered onesies just because they are the easiest to get your baby in and out of. This one is one that Rory is actually sleeping in now, and it's from Walmart. This is a 6 to 9 month one, so this is why you're seeing something that's so big. But I wanted to point out a couple of features that are important. When you're buying the onesies, I would buy the ones that have the zipper on the bottom or have a double zipper. When the zipper is on the bottom, you don't have to expose their chest in the middle of the night, so they're not feeling that cold air hit their chest, and you can just slip their legs out and change their diaper quickly. The other thing that I like about these is this little top. It covers the top of the zipper, so there's no irritation for your baby at all. And most of the pajamas that I've seen that are like this have that, but those are two things that I would look for: the zipper at the bottom so you don't have to expose their chest, and then the zipper cover at the top. These are something that I think every mom should have. The next thing that I want to talk about are the items that I found the most useful for changing your baby. And the first thing I want to talk about is this Kikaroo changing pad. I love this changing pad because of the material that it's made out of. You can see that it's made out of this rubbery material. It's very cushiony. It's not too hard for your baby. But the reason this is such a great material for a changing pad is you can wipe down whatever gets on this. So if your baby has poop or pee or whatever it may be and it gets on the changing pad, it is easy to wipe this down. You're not having to take a cover off of a changing pad, washing it, putting it back on, and you have all of those steps. The other reason why I like this is because this changing pad is really hard to move on surfaces because of the rubber this is covered in. It doesn't slide like some of those fabric changing pads do. It also comes with the secure belt for your baby when you are changing him or her. You can just slip this on top of them. So I think this is a great purchase, especially if you're not using the traditional changing table. Like I have a dresser as the changing table, and this sits on top of the dresser and it works perfectly. This can be found on Amazon, and I think in some baby stores. We purchased ours from Amazon, but I do think that it is well worth the money and a great purchase, and that will help changing be an easier task for you. You will be doing a lot of diaper changes, so it's good to have something that's easy to clean as well as comfortable for your baby. All right, one thing that's on the top of this cart that I do want to highlight that I think is a great purchase is this OXO diaper caddy. And it is really easy to move around anywhere you would need, and it pretty much holds the essentials that you would need for 1 or 2 diaper changes. In this, I put extra diapers. There's also a drawer down here where you can put extra diapers or other items that you may want. I put his lotions, diaper creams, hand sanitizers. His wipes container goes up here. And then it also has this quick portable changing pad. So if he's over in the living room area and I needed to do a diaper change over there or in our bedroom for whatever reason, I can pick up this caddy and it's gonna have all my essential items, and then I can put it right back where it goes, whether that's in his room on top of his dresser or whether it was in the makeshift changing station that I made on our dining room table when he was a couple weeks old. This made things very organized and easy to find, so I wasn't looking for things in the middle of the night. This cart really helped me because I had it stocked with everything I would need for a diaper change to prevent me from having to leave our bedroom where Rory's bed was and walk all the way across the house every time he needed a change. And I stocked it with all the items. On top was just the diaper caddy that I've been using that I loved. And then in the second shelf, I kept changes of clothes. You're going to want to have several changes of clothes for the nighttime in case your baby does wet himself and you need to have a change. I also kept burp cloths, extra blankets, anything that I would need from the room I kept on this second shelf. And then the bottom shelf I used for a surplus of diapers and wipes, just in case we went through what was at the top at nighttime. I did make sure before I went to bed or before the baby went to bed that this cart was fully stocked and ready to go. That way I didn't have to scramble to go get something in the middle of the night. And this was a game changer for me because it was easy to move him from our room to the kitchen table where the cart and the changing pad was, get him changed quickly and move him right back to his bed in our bedroom. So I really do recommend purchasing one of these carts. It was something that just made my life a whole lot easier, and I think it's a great tip for new moms. So those are the items that helped me get through that first few weeks of life into the first month. It can be so overwhelming looking at product reviews and trying to think about what you really need, but I hoped this helped you narrow down on the things that are absolute necessities or that just make your life easier when that baby is first there. Remember, every mom is different and you're gonna know what you need to do as a mom. I think that's one thing that I had to remember when people were giving me different recommendations and saying I needed to do certain things. You as the mom or you as the dad are going to know best what your baby needs, and you're going to be great at it no matter what items you have. I hope this helped bring you a little bit of clarity or helped you at least narrow down that list of things you need. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe below.